What is going on, guys, and welcome back today for some rFactor 2, or most importantly, the world's fastest gamer competition. Now, if you're not already familiar with the competition, Mclaren are currently holding a series of competitive challenges aimed at online races, with the grand prize of becoming an official Mclaren simulation test driver. That sounds quite exciting, doesn't it? It's unfortunately at this point many of us will come to the sad realization that we're just not quick enough and often experience a range of emotions to cope with the disappointment, ranging from confusion, anger, dismay, denial to eventually acceptance, which is where I am right now. So round one kicks off around here, the iconic Silverstone circuit, using rFactor 2's newly released Mclaren 650S GT3 DLC. So let's do a few laps and hope we don't end up qualifying last, effectively making us the world's slowest gamer. Actually, it seems this guy somehow managed to get disqualified. What the f***? Alright guys, so I've done a few laps and attempted to get to grips with the 650S GT3, and for me, it's a little unfortunate because I've always avoided learning and getting to grips with mid-engine GT3 cars. In fact, when it comes to GT3, I'll pretty much always prefer driving a front-engine car like the BMW Z4, the Nissan GTR, or the Mercedes AMG SLS GT3, and it mostly just comes down to me preferring the handling characteristics of the front engine GT3 race cars. With that being said, what it all comes down to is practice, seat time, and just knowing how the car handles. Now, in Assetto Corsa, this car has an inherent, what I can best describe as a pendulum style effect when cornering, as do a lot of the mid-engine GT3 cars, and in rFactor 2 this trait is also quite evident. So I think if you've had a lot of seat time in the Assetto Corsa version of this car, you may not have too many issues with it here. But it really is this pendulum style handling characteristic that I'm just not used to, and it's one of the traits that a few famous Porsches are known for due to having a lot of weight bias towards the back of the car. Okay, so after 10 flying laps, we're in the mid to high 203s. The best times are in the low 157s, so we're over 6 seconds off the leading time. Damn. So after reading a random post about some guy claiming that a 158 was possible with the stock setup, I've decided to leave my setup completely untouched, except lowering the fuel load a little. I mean, I kind of agree with that whenever making a setup change or going for setup changes. Unless you're in the top 10% of lap times, all you're really doing is band-aid fixing driver errors via the setup, when it's in fact errors behind the wheel that probably need to be worked on first, or at least that's the case for me here. Now, in terms of competition, we've had over 1,000 entrants that have posted times, with some of the top times being set by some of sim racing's elites. I mean, simply Google searching some of these names brings up results of multiple online championship wins, world lap record holders. It's pretty crazy. Okay, so back in the car now for a final attempt. All up, I'd say I've probably done around 50 highly inconsistent and varying laps. Now, this round of competition finishes off today, and there are 4 rounds in total, with the next round taking place in Zandvoort and round 3 and 4 finishing off back here in Silverstone using the different track configurations. But overall, this sure has been an eye-opener, and I think a lot of us will come to the sad realization we're just not quick enough. And if you think you're a fast driver or want to see how you stack up to some of the best online races in the world, grab rFactor 2 and set a time. I've read a few forum posts. Some people are struggling to get under the 2-minute mark, but I think the vast unpracticed majority will finish off with a 201 or a 202, and I think with another 50 or 100 laps of practice, I could probably break into the sub 2 minute range. Another issue I'm having as well that I just want to point out is that I'm currently not running any form of Delta timing app for lap time feedback. as I do believe it's quite important to have instant timing feedback to see where you're gaining or losing time during certain corners. And this unfortunately comes down to the fact that I'm running rFactor 2 in DirectX 11 mode, which is still in beta, and I don't believe any third-party apps have been updated to run using DirectX 11, and therefore there is no Delta timing style app. Now, when it comes to online competition, I don't often have issues finishing in the top 25 or 30% of drivers and times, but here I'm sitting at the 50% mark. But I do feel that this competition has attracted an extremely high caliber of drivers, mainly because of the opportunity and prize of becoming a simulation test driver for Mclaren. Now, they haven't exactly gone into details of what cars you would be driving in the simulator, but I think the holy grail would be their Formula 1 simulator, which does have a certain amount of secrecy behind it, but nonetheless it will be an amazing opportunity for the final winner. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I sure did, because rFactor 2 is always fun to jump back into, and it's been way too long. I did eventually finish off with a mid 2:01 lap time, but I'll leave you with the best lap time I had recorded, a 2:01.8. Not crash hot, I know, but if you enjoyed the video, be sure to hit the like button, and if you want to see more videos like this from me in the future, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you all again next time.
The lap was a 2:02.2.